Hello, this is Manesh Patel from the EII Capital Group. This is a weekly Ichimoku analysis for the futures market where we cover commodity futures, metals, natural gas, oil, and so forth. Okay? This normal procedures. This is a normal disclaimer. This is for educational use. All charts are either in Thinkorswim, TradeStation, and/or freestockcharts.com. Here are my contact details. You can contact us on eiicapital.com, or you could contact us through Twitter, or you can follow us with Twitter at Ichimoku Trading. Okay, got a lot to cover, so let's go straight to the heat map. Look at our heat map. We'll look at a rating system here, where basically we're looking for 5 to 8 being bullish, where 8 being extreme bullish, -5 to -8 being bearish, where -8 is extreme bearish. Give you 2 time frames, and you can kind of tell what the entire picture is. Remember last week we had conflict on the wheat. Seems like wheat's starting to get stronger on the daily. Reason why is the weekly still 8, and now we've got a 4 on the daily here. Soy is still very strong. Wheat is, corn is still very strong. Sugar is still very strong, and oats. So commodity futures basically are still very, very, very strong. If you look at gold, a little weak on gold, but actually today you can look at it as 1361. You're right back at the highs right now on as far as the metals are concerned. Same thing on silver, and you could see platinum now is going on very strong on a daily, which was a little weak last week. If you look at crude oil, basically got conflict on all the time frames for crude oil. However, you notice on crude oil, the daily is now getting close to the 8. Natural gas, as normal, is being bearish, but you could see that it was at 8. Now look at the daily; it's starting to get a little weaker. So you may have a little signs of a little bullish counter trend movement as far as natural gas is concerned compared to the weekly. Okay, so let's go straight to our charts and look at a whole bunch of futures, and then go from there. We kind of scroll through all the futures and then analyze them real fast. So let's go through. Let's look at cocoa. The weekly time frame for cocoa, you could see basically we had a down movement here. We pulled back to the bottom of the cloud to the Cajun tin. We're kind of expecting this thing to resume now. This is the key price level here, 27.24 to break through to the downside, and to the upside you're kind of waiting for it to break through to the 30.61 to the top side. So until it breaks there, no trend could really exist. However, we're expecting a trend to the downside, not the up. Okay, so that's where we stand with cocoa futures. So if you look at crude oil, remember crude oil was basically, look at the weekly time frame. This thing is just consolidating. The Chicago is right here. One more week. Now, next week, it looks like this thing, the Chicago will pull out and price starts moving up. This thing's going to start breaking up to the top side where we're going to get to this level right about here, which is a flat part of the Kumo cloud, which $90.10. So there's a possibility of getting there very, very soon, either this week or next week. But we got to have a little pushment up in order for that to happen. But at least the Chicago will be set up on a weekly time frame to do it. If you look here, we're just going sideways. As I mentioned, you need to push up to kind of break this level 64.50, and then we could go up. Okay, so right now we're just sitting waiting tight for crude oil to make a decision which way it wants to go in order to react to it. Cotton is pretty much still going very strong, as our videos we depicted. Dollar index, you can see the dollar index is still very bearish, still going on very strong. All indicators are very strong. A little push movement down is going to take us to this level right here, the 74.14, and possibly break that if we keep on going down. Okay, let's go to cotton. Cotton's still very strong. Oh, sorry, we were already gone for that. We'll go back and look at gold futures in a minute. Feeder cattle, we're just going sideways right now. There's nothing there. The sentiment is bullish, but we're just pretty much going sideways until we get a commitment of which way it wants to go. The Chicago right here is getting into price. A movement above this level here of 1592 pretty much can sit there and possibly set a trend to the bullish side. Lean hogs, you come to the bottom of the cloud. We expect to pull back here to kind of convert all the indicators, and then a pushment down. So kind of waiting for it to hit this level here, 65.19 twice. Not the first time, but twice before to start looking at bearish opportunities going down. Copper, if you look at copper, still going on very, very strong. It basically broke for this resistance level, which is now turning into support, and then has a possibility of breaking for the top side because of the Chicago. So copper still looks very strong going forward. Okay, heating oil. Look at heating oil. Heating oil looks like it's going to break out. We're looking for it to break out of 235. If it breaks out of 235, this thing's going to sit there and go up to about 264.39. So there's a high possibility that this week or next week, heating oil is now going to start trending. So look for that for a possible trade going up, and start looking for a trend. If you look at coffee, coffee's still going on very strong. Lumber, if you look at lumber, we basically pulled back. Kind of expected it to kind of bounce off the cloud here. It didn't do that. It went right through it. This is kind of you wait for confirmations on pullback, and now we're kind of in an influx as far as lumber is concerned. There's no trend there at all. Live cattle, you could see that we're just doing a minor pullback where we're going to retest the support, which was a resistance that we broke through, but this is still very bullish. All it has to do is break for this last pivot high of 102.51, and it's going to go higher. Okay, scrolling down, natural gas, as you know, is still bearish. However, we pulled back. Remember, we talked about it getting weaker on the daily and starting to weaken the weekly. You could see that it's breaking here. However, there's nothing really for natural gas as far as any trend opportunities until it at least gets to 4.924. Okay. Orange juice, you could see that it looks like it's going to break to the higher side. We got to wait for this thing to break above 116.13 in order for it to start trending again. If you look at platinum, platinum's still getting stronger now. About this week or next week, if it sits there and makes a push up, it's going to start trending to the top side, break its last pivot, which gold and them already have. If you look at sugar, sugar's up there, retesting its highs. It has a possibility even going higher from where it's sitting right now. Okay, mini gold, if you look at gold, we're pretty much sitting at the highs, and gold is still very strong. It has a really huge upside. You can see that volumes increased the last couple of weeks, last 2 weeks compared to what it normally has. So, you know, this is pretty much, this still has potential of going higher, so be very careful if you're thinking of playing counter trend on gold. Okay, this is the weekly video for futures. If you have any questions, please let